Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's topic is regarding the status of women in Islam. One major objective of this discussion is to provide a fair assessment of what Islam contributed or failed to contribute towards the restoration of women's dignity, honor, and rights. In order to achieve this objective, it may be useful to review briefly how women were treated in general in previous civilizations and religions, especially those which preceded Islam. No doubt that the current debate or current belief in the West is that Islam subjugates women and that the rights afforded to women in the West are incompatible with Islamic laws. Many Western commentators portray the status of women in Islam as the lowest amongst all religions and much lower than what it is in their own faith. Perhaps no other widespread belief in the West is further from the truth. I will briefly discuss uh, uh, the woman's status in ancient civilizations. Describing the status of Indian women in Encyclopedia of Britannica states, in India, subjugation was a basic principle. Day and night must women be held by their protectors in a state of dependence. The rule of inheritance was agnostic, that is, family traced through males to the exclusion of the females. The Indian custom of a wife burning herself either on the funeral fire or her dead husband or in some other fashion soon after his death. In Hindu scriptures, the books, a good wife should be a woman whose mind, speech, and body are kept in subjugation, acquires high fame in this world and the next, the same abode with her husband. In Roman civilization, law of a woman was even in historic times completely dependent. If married, she and her property passed into the power of her husband. The wife was the purchased property of her husband, and like a slave acquired only for his benefit. A woman could not exercise any civil or public office, could not be a witness, guarantee, tutor, or custodian. She could not adopt or be adopted or make will or contract. In the Mosaic law, from the legal point of view, the consent of the girl was not necessary for the validation of her marriage. The girl's consent is unnecessary and the need for it is nowhere suggested in the law. As to the right of divorce, Encyclopedia Biblica states the woman being man's property, his right to divorce her follows as a matter of course. Divorce was a privilege of the husband only. It was only in 1789 that the French government issued a declaration recognizing that men are born and remain free and equal in rights. The declaration excluded women. In a direct response to the French women's rights activists, Marie Olympe published a declaration in 1791 that started with woman is born free and lives equal to man in her rights. She was executed 2 years later, partly to advise other women's rights activists. Until the second of the 20th century, many leading Western universities prohibited women's admission. Until recently, many ultra Orthodox Jews prohibited women from studying the Torah um, and other religious texts. In contrast, the Holy Quran exhorts all men and women to acquire knowledge. It is little known that one of the world's oldest universities, Al Qarawiyyin, was founded by a Muslim woman named Fatima Al Fahri in Morocco in the 19th century. It admitted women as well as students of other faiths. I will conclude this here. Inshallah, in next discussion, next episode, we will discuss briefly the rights of women in Islam and how she is treated. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand our religion. Jazakumullahu khair. Ahsan al